Smoke of air and fire of earth, cleanse and bless this momentarily. Drive away all harm and fear, and all good may enter here. And if spirits threaten us in this place, fight fire by fire and water by water. Banish their souls into nothingness and close their powers until the last trace. Let these evil beings flee from time and space. Thank you, Shiva. Thank you, Shiva. Yes. Oh my goodness. Hello, guys. Good morning. God, I feel good. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Y'all, we got to talk about this whole gang stalking thing so that I can help y'all. I get quite a few people contacting me about being gang stalked. And I was gang stalked by people that were claiming to be witches. So I want to talk to you guys about how witchcraft saved my family. Everybody always talking about how horrible witchcraft is and it's a bad thing. Also, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, thumbs up the video to get the positive vibes going. I appreciate it. Thank you. Everybody always, and you know, this is why I said, and see, I'm never leaving YouTube. Never. But when I expand, finally, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's just when I finally expand off of YouTube, you know, that's when I know that spirit is taking me to the next level. They done leveled me up. See, I'm being leveled up right now. I'm being tested. You see what I'm saying? So it's all good. I am a high priestess witch. And yes, they did have the audacity to try to gang stalk a witch. So I began getting gang stalked on YouTube as soon as I got pregnant with my youngest son. Was when they initially it started. I had dealt with a couple of bullies on YouTube because I started off on YouTube vlogging about my beautiful, beautiful family and my beautiful children. I have 4 of them and an angel baby. So I had started getting stalked prior till they started claiming to be witches, or they, you know, they tried to use witchcraft on me because, you know. And so let me just start off with, but let's fast forward a little bit to 2015. Let's fast forward to that. That's when the gang stalking intensified. Now, people gang stalk for various reasons. My gang stalkers stalked me because they were jealous. Period. Okay? And it was actually done by a group of women. So you wouldn't even believe that women would do some things like that, but they do. So in 2015 was when it started, and I just so happened to move to Georgia at the same time. People that are in a group, they think that they are invincible and they think they can do whatever they want to their target. Now, a lot of you guys that have gotten gang stalked, they may not necessarily be using witchcraft on you, but they may be using energy. So if you are a human being or an empath and you have people throwing negative energy at you and you're seeing it and witnessing it, that's the whole point of them trolling, then it can manipulate your mind, body, and spirit. I've seen a lot of people that have been gang stalked. Some of them handle it like a G, and some of it handle it in a very negative way. Okay, I've actually heard of people being gang stalked, and they find out where their enemy lives, and they go and they handle their business. Now, we don't want nothing like that to happen, because then you'd have to go and stand before a judge and explain something that a judge may not necessarily understand. Unless you're using witchcraft, of course. Then the judge would listen, wouldn't he? Yeah, he would. So, gang stalking can drive you crazy. It can give you PTSD. It is a horrible thing to do to another human being. And I can promise you that these people are only prolonging their karma. The longer that they wait to receive that karma, the worse it's going to be. They're going to have to let it hit them like a ton of bricks eventually. Most gang stalkers were original bullies. So this is something I believe is done by bullies. They think because everybody has been programmed to, oh, just ignore the bully, just ignore them. And, so a part of the gang stalking that they did, there was one who tried to convince everybody that I was a pedophile. It's been exposed over and over again that it was not the truth and that it was actually made up by a man that I later had a sexual relationship with. So, this is going to make for a hell of a book one day. Okay. So I ended up in a sexual relationship with the one that started that rumor. But that rumor never had any effect over my business. They were never able to convince anybody of anything because actually it's not the truth. If it were the truth, trust me, something would have happened to me by now. Something horrible would have happened. Okay? So they had to make up lies. And yes, people that I knew, but see, this is all a part of spirit and the demons and the entities that I'm dealing with as well, especially when it comes to people that you know personally that will do that to you. Okay? So this is one of the reasons why I can never forgive my mother, because she helped them gang stalk me, because she wanted me to move back home. And you know what? I'm sorry. You're not a good mother if you're okay with people gang stalking your kid. You're a horrible mother, in fact. Okay? That's just how I feel about it. So, I have a very toxic and narcissistic mother, which is one of the reasons why I even talk about narcissism. And somebody tried to say that I'm just trying to copy off of them. No, my mother is a narc. And she is, because you've heard it. They all know everything. They get together like it's a top secret mission that they are on. They call each other all day. They make plans. They do things in advance. Yes, they do. Gang stalkers are very calculating. And, it's just what they do, I was able to survive it using witchcraft because, number one, oh, yeah, I could feel their intent. Their intent was to stress me out so much that I die of a heart attack or that I lose it and flip out. Never did I do that. You know why? Because of witchcraft. It's the only reason why I survived it with all of my marbles. Because everybody don't survive that without all their brain, which was the whole point, because they are zombies. There is a correlation between gang stalkers and zombies. Okay, and I've had my own family gang stalk me. And if you gang stalking your own family, you need to check yourself into the nearest insane asylum if you are stalking your own family, and let them know that you need help. Because back in Kansas City, when I spoke with my mother's therapist, and this doesn't hurt my mother, a lot of y'all come from a standpoint of a normal thinking human being. Trust me, my mother's a narc. The things that I say about her don't hurt her feelings. They don't make her cry. So she'll be okay. But her own therapist told me to get away from my mother. Her therapist. She said, your mother sits and talks about you the whole time she's here. I've been sick of hearing about it. She said, your mother's obsessed with you. You need to move away from her and go no contact. Ain't that crazy? So, a lot of the stuff that they do backfires on them because, all of a sudden she said, I want you to go and see a therapist. And then when I went to go see her therapist told me she was crazy. Funny. I got away from her at the exact correct time as well. Because now she's on her Facebook talking about busting a cap in some animals, raccoons. Now she's online talking about shooting at raccoons because she's upset and mad that everything that she did to her own flesh and blood backfired on her. So I have a very, very interesting story. People know it and they want to capitalize on it, but they want to put their own spin to it. So, this is when people are backbiting. I am spiritually protected. If you try to backbite on me, it's going to backfire. So I'm going to let y'all know that I do real witchcraft. If you try to backbite, it's going to backfire. Period. People have the right to protect their energy. Okay. So how I survived it was by doing my cleanses, doing my healings, doing my protection. And then also a part of their gang stalking was filing false Division of Family Services reports. Boy, they thought they had me. Woo! They thought my children were a weakness. They did. But my children, of course, my children are a weakness because I love them. I don't want anything to happen to them. There were times when they would send the police to my house with guns. Sometimes these police officers would be under influence of lies. Within a minute and 20 seconds, all of that was gone. So, being that I do have certain enchantments, but a lot of you other witches or anyone else, you have the power to be heard. So that's what they want. They wanted nobody to listen to you. They would have wanted for the police to come to your house and shoot you, is what they wanted. And the reason why they wanted that is because they have mental issues and they don't like themselves. Because to be honest with you, you don't even have to do anything to these people for them to do that to you. Okay. And the reason why they can't let the situation go. Now, many of you guys get gang stalked for years. Some of y'all only for a year. Many of you call the police and the police actually do something about it. And I think that they are getting ready to arrest a bunch of gang stalkers. I've warned these people several times, and it could be them because they're doing it out in the open online. So they are going to, even though right now government letting you get away with it, but very, very soon I can see the gang stalking apocalypse happen. Because what they build, they always destroy. They have to. So they're going to start putting them in prison for many, many years. They're going to start doing psych evaluations on these people. They're going to start claiming, they're going to start telling, they're going to be deemed as mentally ill, which a lot of them already are. Okay. So, yeah, Pamela Lowe, with you and honey, Hope is going to show up and show out, baby, because they definitely going to prison. Anybody that did it, it's going to be 50 and 60-year-old men and women being drugged out of their house for participating in what they did to me, as well as others. They're going to have them on the news. Shame, shame, shame. Look at the fake false shame that you tried to bring against others and how it got brought against you. Oh, they going to get it. And y'all, and why is it that every time I say something going to happen, it happens? You know what, Pamela? Demons ain't always evil. I had a demon that protected me last night. So, but I know y'all thinking, but that's because I'm a witch. I practice witchcraft. Okay. I am a natural born witch with the gift of sight, empathism, as well as, I can travel. I can see into other dimensions. I can see interdimensional beings. So, and the way that it's been happening is that it's actually been for my benefit because it's been manifesting my spiritual gifts. But see, the difference is that I believe in it, I understand, and I'm cool with it. Nothing scares me about this situation. Nothing scares me. In fact, they're the ones that are scared. Do we pray for them? Yeah. But you're still going to end up in prison. So eventually, I'm telling y'all, to all of y'all people out there that are suffering from gang stalking, your gang stalker is going to go to prison. So whether or not you believe in karma or not, we believe in justice. So justice is karma. Okay? Now, when they were doing a very dangerous activity of, and you know what? Let me tell you something. Somebody very manipulative was calling DFAX. Whoever it was, they were good. Because DFAX was coming to my house. If you guys don't know what DFAX is, it's the division CPS. So I survived over 100 false CPS claims. There were swatting that happened, a lot of different things, and I survived all of it as a woman by herself with children to raise. So whenever you get through, anybody can survive that. Somebody attacking your children, that's pretty horrifying. You know what I had to do? First of all, I got a tongue in a jar right now with all their pictures in it. I got a beef tongue downstairs right now. Right now, I can show it to y'all with all of their pics and their names in it with a specific intent when people are lying on you. If you have a CPS problem, I would do a beef tongue for you. Because many people, let me tell you something, it happens every single day, which is why over in Florida, it's a felony to file false CPS reports. You can go to jail for a very long time for doing that, just for lying. So Florida is very harsh. You can't be a liar in Florida. Okay. Especially when it comes to lying on innocent mothers. So many of you have been innocently targeted with CPS. And I believe you. Okay. And many famous people have been targeted with CPS. Many of them have been. And they use CPS as a means to frighten, to bully, or to scare you. Because CPS, you don't know who's going to come to your door. I have had at least 100 strangers at my door asking to see my baby's bottom. Do you understand me? And my family survived it, and so did I. So that's not an easy thing to go through. I used witchcraft to survive it. Because if I had not done those things to protect and secure my family, there would have been some sort of, now let me tell you something. The one thing that they can never make happen is that child being taken from me. So that's what they wanted. And you know what? When you think about it, what kind of foul human being would want to create that kind of misery in somebody else's life? Why would you want to do that to a child, an innocent child? Why would you want to do that? Like, y'all got to really think about how disgusting these people really are. Y'all got to think about that. Okay. So it was I've had CPS coming to my door telling me that I have to take drug tests and There was absolutely nothing that was going on that should have been under any suspicion like that. They took screenshots of me playing with my son, wrestling with him, and tried to make it seem like it was sexual. Well, CPS has a copy of we all have copies of all of the evidence to the contrary. So it's been ridiculous. Now, if I were a weak person, I would have moved. But regardless to my circumstance, my landlord needed to collect his rent on me. I've blessed somebody else for 3 years, and now we're going to go.
Oh, what?
We moving, baby.
You moving?
We moving.
I say we moving.
So, doing that beef tongue, doing the protection, doing the reversals, doing all of that protected my family. So I believe that this is Christian-based harassment as well. I believe that it's religious-based harassment. I've actually talked about that. I've actually talked about a so-called witch. She was under the disguise of a witch, but I feel as though she actually is it's Christian-based as well. Because there's a lot of Christians on YouTube that don't like witches. However, they pick and choose. So you know how Christians are cowards. They target women and children. Y'all know Christians are cowards. All throughout the Bible, we must kill the woman and we must kill her child and she must sacrifice her child and the children are going to suffer and we must dash them with rocks. And so we all know. We look, ain't nobody stupid over here, man. My family members may be stupid enough to participate in that crap, but I'm not. So we all know about Christianity and how judgmental they are and scared. They're very, very scared. And they should be, because they got a very, very big lesson that they're going to have to learn. And I'm going to be sitting here laughing and eating a bonbon. Y'all, I swear. And you know what was crazy is that the gang stalkers, their intent was to drive me crazy and to break me down. If you go listen to my last gang stalker, she is broken. Because last week she was a whole big bad witch. Last week, I'm going to beef with you for life because, I don't, I'm bad. And then now I'm a victim. She sexually harassed us. She stalked us. We didn't do anything. I swear, we didn't do anything wrong. We didn't unfairly target this woman and harass her and stalk her. No, she's done everything. So that's how you can tell when you say, go ahead, I'm pat you on your head now. Y'all. So what I did was these big, bad, boisterous, gang stalkers that claim to be witches, they broken all the way down like to the 12th power. Okay, I'm gonna go because I gotta warm up my coffee. Come on, we're gonna make you some cereal. I'm gonna warm up my coffee. So y'all, let me tell you something. You don't have to be unfairly targeted. Many of you are good people that have been unfairly targeted by these monsters. Okay? Because that's what they are. They're monsters. Using the internet to get off on their sadistic deeds. Then you see, this is how you can tell that your enemy has been cursed and has faced their judgment internally, is when they play victim. Oh, she did this to me and I'm scared now, y'all. Why'd you try to stalk somebody? Why'd you try to ruin her children's lives? Why is it that 3 years ago you was big and bad and you came online and you said that you hated little children? So y'all know mama. Y'all know mama, the head one in charge, the one that should be inspiring these youngsters to do better, to do the right thing. No, it's an older lady that does this. She encourages these younger kids, because that's what they are. They're little children trying to be grown, and they think that they're doing something. Now, I've seen a couple of hoodoo videos where, and I guess you are supposed to stalk your victim, but stalking don't bother everybody. Some of your victims will dance with the devil in the pale moonlight. So if y'all not at that point where y'all can do that, then you can come to me and I'll do the work for you. Okay? Now they learning the lesson. And yeah, it's people that might be silly enough to go and pay these people for spiritual work. No. But what good is it getting paid to do spiritual work when you're miserable every day because you have a pink elephant sitting on your consciousness? No. So there is a way to navigate through gang stalking. Gang stalking is very demonic. Gang stalking can have a negative effect on your mind, body, and spirit, or it can have a positive effect. So for me, I had never done anything. I'm not a criminal. I don't do things. I'm not a bad person. So there wasn't much that I had to learn. I think I just learned what y'all were going through. You know, people that are unfairly targeted.
Now we're food.
Yeah, hold on. So, another thing that I want to do today is I'm going to come right back when I get done with this discussion. And what we're going to talk about, what I'm going to do a reading on, and this is to help people. Are you cursed, or are you being subliminally, or are you subliminally blocking yourself, or are you psyching yourself out? So I'm gonna do a all signs. Hey. Here, take your bowl and go sit down and eat your cereal, baby.
Sit down.
Yeah. So we are gonna look at that today because some of y'all doing curse removals and reversals and all that stuff. Some of y'all might be subliminally blocked in your mind because after you dealt with something like that for so long. Yeah, it is demonic. Demons are scared of me. Okay? Demons are afraid of me because I know how to banish them and I can also destroy them. I do exorcisms on people all the time. Good morning, Carla. Hit that thumbs up, sis. I need to know who's in the chat. Yeah, we need to know who's in the chat because we need to know who's in this chat. We got 14 in the chat. Okay, so let's get some more thumbs up so we can assess who's in here. Because clearly it's a bunch of gang stalkers in here because they don't want to hear about themselves. They don't want to hear their fate. Oh, you've got a destructive fate coming up, baby. It ain't witchcraft is not going to prevent that from happening to you. Okay, because my spirits work with justice. Truth, justice, and the American way. Yes, you should use witchcraft. No, you do not deserve to be punished. No, you don't. You do not deserve to be punished for anything. This is why I said this is definitely like a witch hunt. Okay? Whenever they do it, it can be a witch hunt. All right, I'm going back upstairs, y'all. So I had to warm up my coffee, make my son a bowl of cereal. Yeah, my kids like Lucky Charms. I like buying it too, because it do bring luck to you. Buying Lucky Charms cereal bring good luck to your house. I don't know why. So many of you are very sensitive, and I am a sensitive boy. They thought these gang stalkers, they thought they was gonna drive me crazy. They thought they was gonna really do harm to my child. All they've been doing is getting karma. And that's the way you got to do it. This is the one time, if you are being gang stalked, you're probably a witch. You're probably a real natural born witch. If you're being gang stalked, you got some kind of spiritual gift that they after. Okay? Okay, you got some kind of spiritual gift that they after. There's something special about you if you're being gang stalked. Period. And the ones that claim to be witches, if it's a gang stalking witch, I would not be afraid of that witch. In fact, I'd be more afraid of myself than that witch, because that witch has no power. A witch that has to gang stalk you doesn't have any real power. She doesn't, and she knows it. She knows that when she lights a candle to try to make a spell work, nothing happens. I'm just telling y'all the truth. These gang stalkers were witches, and over and over and over again, they came to all of my channels. We're gonna kill you. I did a death spell on you. I'm gonna have your children taken from you. I hate you. I hate. Oh, for 4 years straight. So, they're really nuttier than fruitcakes, is what they are. I'm going to light a candle over that petition. So we are going to look at that to see, because nobody really has the power to curse anybody. You make all of the decisions. Now, you can be blocked. I will tell you that, well, I mean, okay, I will say this. Yeah, there are some witches that have the power to do some work. None of those witches that have gang stalked me. You guys know that I've already went over that thoroughly. I wish I could go live from my Love Light Love channel. I might hook up my computer and do that today, so I can go live from there, from that channel, because I can't go live because it's not 1,000 subscribers over there yet. So I can't do it from my phone. But, I will tell you that gang stalking is not witchcraft, but gang stalking can look like witchcraft. It can look like it. It can feel like it, because we are all picking up on each other's energies. So when you got 10 to 20 people doing that to you daily or at one time, it's probably going to make you feel a little uncomfortable, especially if you are an empath. Now, for me, I feel very comfortable every single day. I don't have a problem with it. There was this one person that kept bringing it back into my life, and I had to let him go, because he just, even though he loved me, he was still a gang stalker at heart. Okay, that was in his heart chakra, so that wasn't good for me. So I had to let that go. I don't even think he does gang stalking. I think he's being gang stalked. So let me correct that. He's being gang stalked. He's not the gang stalker. Okay, he's being gang stalked. So, not that he's a victim, no, you know. But if you are participating in that, then maybe you are. Maybe you got to deal with it. Nobody's. I feel like this. These gang stalkers, they literally had a dream. They had a dream that they were gonna do this, and I wasn't gonna say nothing. Just let us use you as our target. No, no. And then also the fact that they try to sully your name. They usually have some sort of smear campaign going on. No, you can fight back with witchcraft. Okay. They were not able to ruin my business. I earned 6 figures last year, and I'm on my way to 6 figures this year. Okay. And they don't like that. It's not like these people are there to push me like, yeah, we're really your friend, and we just did all this to push you. And so, yeah, congratulations. I still get credit for your 100 grand. No, those people actually had an intent to ruin me, to put me to poverty, to get my children thrown out into the streets. That was their intent, and none of it will ever happen. In fact, it will continuously backfire on them. And I'm just telling you what I know. And I'm not trying to use suggestion. I'm letting you know that you don't have to be a victim of these people. You can use witchcraft to fight back. And I don't mind doing gang stalking cases. I don't mind doing work for gang stalkers because I'm familiar with everything that they do and all of their demons. You know what I say to them? Suck my dick. That's what I say to them. Suck my penis. They're cowards behind a computer. Some of them are even computer generated. Protect yourself from the evil eye. There's so many different ways of protecting yourself from the evil eye. So there's a specific way that you have to survive being gang stalked, but you also have to understand that there's certain rituals that you'll want to do, especially if they have some sort of smear campaign that's not the truth. A smear campaign is not somebody necessarily exposing your past. Who cares about your past? Most people are going to say, hey, you know, we know everybody can have a past. No, a smear campaign is when you actually make up stuff about somebody and, literally try to ruin their reputation. So they were not able to ruin my reputation at all. So a lot of people would love to convince you that I can ruin your life. No, they can't. They can't ruin your life. What they can do is they can lead you to a high priestess witch that has experience with them, and then you can kick their asses. Is what you can do with magic. Cleanses, the spiritual baths, the reversals, the mirror work, all of that stuff helps. These are things that have to be done. Now, eventually, because that's why they all mad, because, that's why one of them in particular that calls himself a witch now, he'll say, you got tongues in jars and stuff over there. That's because his lying tongue wasn't able to harm me. So he got mad at me. I always talk about your tongue jars with beef tongue jars, and you know what you know. And then also I'm at the crossroads. Many of these people are older people. Some of them are in their 30s. If they only knew who I really was and what I represented in their life. Okay. So we bring about justice over him. I just did a court case, like I said, that set a man free. He didn't really do anything that bad, though. He wasn't a murderer or anything like that. But I can't speak on the case, but it wasn't that kind of case, okay? It wasn't murder, rape, child molestation, or anything like that. It wasn't. So, I wouldn't even, there's certain people that I wouldn't do court cases on. If it's something else, if it's something, minor, in which it was something minor that this person could have done, over 10 years in prison, because that's what they were initially offering for the case. Okay. So, you can get your peace. You can get your back. You can get that back. You don't have to be, in a state of torment and confusion. First of all, gang stalking targeted people are not necessarily cursed. Now, if you were born a witch in so many ways, yeah, that's considered to be a curse by most Christians. If you're born a witch. So it's funny how they'll keep saying, oh, you're cursed, you're cursed. Well, I'm a witch. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I wear my curse with a badge of honor. Thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? So that part of it in itself, those words that people use or try to use against you, again, that's the spirit of suggestion. That's the spirit of suggestion, to get your own mind to make itself up so that you can either hurt yourself else or block yourself. Okay, period. These people literally tried to take my life and flip it upside down. Trying to find the hanged man. The hanged man. Okay. But there's also justice, judgment, and justice. Okay. So, you see that? I believe that the people that gang stalk me, I believe that quite a few of them are out there committing crimes. And, these crimes are sitting on their consciousness. So you always want to have justice, the magician, and another good card to get when you're dealing with this. So if you're being gang stalked, you can definitely contact me. I know everything that you need to get through that situation, because I know it's not easy. In fact, at the same time I was being gang stalked, a lot of other people were being gang stalked. That's why my stalker readings are so popular. Many of y'all are here because y'all watch my stalker readings. Now, my gang stalkers also must have stalkers in their subconscious, because they say, you're stalking me. It'll all go away if you stop harassing me. No, I'm not going to stop harassing you. We going to be for life. That's what one of them told me. Now she over there sounding broken down. Sometimes it's a person's ego. I know my enemies have they had a very, very big ego. And it was, it was so loud. And then now it's, we're victims. She's stalking us. It's hilarious, guys, because I love it when I see people that deserve karma get it. So they definitely getting their karma because they broken down. And when they get to that point, that's when a lot of those demons have been dissipated off of them. And now the actual person has to make sense of what they did. However, you can't stalk somebody, and when they do spiritual work on you that messes you up, you play victim. If you're doing wrong, you have to admit and purge yourself of your sins. There is no religion that will ever convince me that I'm wrong for getting vengeance on these people. In fact, it was a Christian stalker that came over to my video, got scared and said, in Jesus' name, get off of this woman. Oh, Lordy, Lordy. They were scared. And you should be scared. They should be scared. Oh, they all scared. The one that just did a hangout last night, I could hear the fear in her voice because they know that judgment is upon them, period. And it was very foolish what they did. Everybody watching them knew they were foolish fools. So, I mean, especially when you've put blood on it. When I do a beef tongue, I'm working with animal blood. When I do a beef tongue, I'm working with animal blood. You're working with blood. And then also a lot of us witches, we bleed every month. So there's blood everywhere. Just the blood. You know what I'm saying? So, when you are a freaking triple, quadruple threat on people, I'm saying, then they learn the lesson. And some people don't learn lessons very well. The truth hurts them to their core. But those are usually the narcissists and the people that don't want to admit when they're wrong. Okay? They don't want to admit that they're wrong for something. They can't see it. Then they want to play victim. But it was quite obvious for years, even with the agencies and the police and the FBI that was watching the whole situation. They have heard Jamila say several times, hey, I am here to advertise my business. I do have a company named Divine Services. I do file my taxes every single year with the Internal Revenue Service. And I do pay taxes. In my state, I pay taxes to the state of Georgia. I am a tax-paying citizen, and I don't want anything to do with you. I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to argue with you. Also, many of you can develop solar plexus blockages when you're dealing with gang stalking and people bullying you. And so, all of that energy will cover your solar plexus, and you have to use fire to open it up and to banish all of that negative energy. So witchcraft is extremely useful, especially for those of you that have families that you love. You got people putting dirt on your name. Look, I know what you're going through. There's certain power words that you want to use. There's certain keys to unlock. So, like I said, I'm going to come right back. I'm sitting down here in I'm in my sitting position on the floor. And I'm going to come back and do readings on you guys and find out if you're cursed or just subconsciously blocked. Because many of you have psyched yourself out, especially when you think about hoodoo. Hoodoo is suggestion. A lot of it is. So many of you have had your lives ruined because of people like this and entities that are like this, okay? And it don't have nothing to do with no Ogun or Oshun or Yemiya or Abatala or Choshi or Shango. That they don't have those people. You hear them claiming all of these deities, and those deities do not co-sign gang stalking. No, they don't. Now, if you are getting together as a coven and you are fighting against a bad person that is trying to do harm to you and won't leave you alone, then yeah, those entities will get involved. But when they see that you are trying to harm somebody, they don't have nothing to do with that. Especially if you're trying to harm a witch. Okay, especially if you know, whoever it is, you know, these entities and deities, you know, they do have goodness about them. They're not evil like that. So that's nothing but demons. I know that Christians consider a lot of those deities to be demons. So I understand from you guys' perspective, but you know, they're not demons. Okay. And they don't co-sign that or anything. And they're tired of their name being put on that. There's a lot of very confused and very, very low-lifed wannabe faux witches that are running around here putting Oshun's name, girl, by not the beautiful Oshun. Nah, baby. Nah, baby, not Oshun. So, you know, and I think that whenever you start to see them act a fool like that, that is when you know that their judgment and their karma is up on them. Okay, now we don't want to use the word karma because many people don't. I know that Ashera, let's bring up Ashera. Ashera star goddess. Shout out to Ashera. She don't believe in karma. Well, I can tell you that justice and karma are very real things. Just to let you guys know. Okay. So, when it comes to you having fear, because a lot of the things that they did pushed a lot of real witches away from YouTube as well. And that's the one thing that the spirit is not going to handle. They don't appreciate you doing that. There's a lot of witches that, you know, I've even spoken to. And they've said, Jamila, I'm afraid to come on YouTube because of the things that I see you going through. And, you know, I'm going to tell y'all something. Spirit wants as many healers, witches, high priestesses to blossom. They're wanting people, they're forcing people to pay attention to their powers, even in their 20s. So whenever you start to go through ascension, you're going to pick up on this, and they want, because, and they desperately need you. And the reason why they need you is because they need good people out here doing work for people. They want good people, not evil. They want serious people. Okay? They want serious people who are not just practicing witchcraft because they're angry about their childhood. Many of these people practice witchcraft because they're angry about their childhood, and that's it. They don't have a real connection with witchcraft. Jacob, stop playing with the cat. The cat doesn't like it. Give me this kitty. Hi, little kitty. I'll save you from the crazy little boy. Look, y'all. Say hi. Look how cute. Look how cute, y'all. So they do want you to practice witchcraft, but they don't want you to think negatively of yourselves. They don't like these people. None of the deities like these people. They don't. Period. Thank you. Is that a? I wonder if it's a boy or a girl. I don't know yet. Even the two oldest kittens, we haven't looked at what their sex, their gender is. But you know, so at this point, we have to move beyond what is going on with this gang stalking thing. And the gang stalkers should have moved on too. The government ain't even on that program no more. They're like, what y'all doing? So they don't really have the demonic support. They don't have the financial support that they used to have. They don't. They don't have that support anymore. But, they want to try to conjure it, and it will never be conjured because we're moving on to the next level. Yeah, that's one of the ones that I'm going to be rehoming. So, that one going to get rehomed real quick. Okay, and it's let me show y'all. Let me show y'all cute kitty again. It's one of those rough-haired Siamese with blue eyes. So, I've got one of them with blue eyes. It's the older kitten, Perseus. And you know that Perseus hangs out with this kitten a lot too. She be right up underneath Perseus or he or whatever. What are you? Are you a girl or a boy? Huh? Are you a girl or a boy? You are cute. So, yeah, man. That's one of the healthiest looking ones. There's a tan one. It's like multicolored, but it's a lot of different pretty colors. And that one is the other real healthy looking one. The other ones, their eyes are kind of stuck closed and stuff. So, you are too adorable. You know that? Poor little kitten. Yeah, they're cute at that age. They're cute at any age. But anyway, why y'all getting me off the subject? I'm trying to talk about the gang stalking and we looking at the cat. They are awfully adorable. I love cats. I love all animals. I've got two beautiful dogs down there too. They are so beautiful. I love both. I love all of my fur babies. They protect the hell out of me. Okay. And thank God that I have them. I'm so lucky to have, even though, you got to keep that litter box changed and you got to clean up after them. It's worth it. And, this house isn't really good for animals because it's not like a separate garage area or anything or a backyard. So my dogs are going to be very happy whenever we move out of here because they're going to have a backyard to play in. Okay. So that's definitely something that I promised. Hold on. This is I put the wrong petition. I think this one I wanted to burn. So, guys, this is what I want to tell you though. Again, there's two sides to every story. The story that these people are going to eventually tell is that witchcraft ruined their lives. My story is going to be that witchcraft saved my life, and I can save and help a lot of you. Okay, I can save and help a lot of you. Yeah, that's what I'd like to have is like a little section or area off of my apothecary. For my animals to kind of hang out together because they are cats and dogs, but they do get along. Okay, like my dogs get along with the cats and stuff. So, my animals, as well as the people in my house, we have a perfect harmony and balance. Now, when we had people being called to our house, And I think that was the most devastating thing that they did. But when it, they just were here last month. So I don't have a fear of those people. I don't have any fear surrounding that. You know what I'm saying? So, they come in the house, or either I stand outside and talk to them, and whoop-de-woo, and they're like, well, you still living here, girl? How come you ain't moved yet? You need to move so that these people won't keep doing this to you. So, my spirits are not going to lead somebody harmful to my door. And when people walk up to my house, of course, there's spiritual guards out there. Like, a lot of people think that just because you're not married, that you're alone, and many of you are not alone. Okay, think about Michael Jackson. You are not alone. I am here with you. Though you're far apart, you're always in my heart. So you got the fallen angels. That's Archangel Michael, Azrael, Metatron, Raphael, Gabriel. They are here to help. They are. I know that they always demonize them, but they're actually here to help. Okay. So life does get better, guys, and I love you. You know what I'm saying? And that I'll always be there for you. Look, if I have to scare your enemies, I'll scare them with certain entities. Yeah, but you have to do it. Otherwise, it's either you or them. Which one you going to choose? You going to choose to lay down and die for your enemy that seeks to destroy you, or are you going to stand up and fight? However you have to. So I'm a fighter. I'm a warrior at the end of the day. And I'm a warrior on the side of good. But also, guys, I don't know if you guys ever watched that show, Lucifer. My son watches it. There's a special place in hell for bullies. And that's not just made for TV. Many people have hell in their subconscious anyway. Okay. And, even some of my gang stalkers have said, well, I don't even want to go to heaven. I want to go to hell. Okay. Well, then, subconsciously, that's where their minds. So we're going to really get into everybody's subconscious today in those readings that I'm going to do in a minute. I'm going to really get into people's subconsciousness today. Is what we're going to do. And, that's really what my readings do. They do get into people's subconscious. And it's important to know what's going on in your subconscious. Many of you need a subconscious mind flush and unblocker. And I am going to put that on the website. I'm getting ready to do one for a client of mine, actually, but I don't have the official thing on there. It's almost like the cleanse, but it's a lot more deeply involved. Okay, so if you are a client of mine and you feel blocked, you guys know where y'all can come to, because that's sometimes where you got to go, is those subconscious blockages. Okay, that are in your mind. And subconscious blockages don't always have to do with your money. It doesn't always have to do with love. It can have to do with your behavior. I know for a fact that gang stalkers, they're very, very blocked and very limited in their minds, which is why they end up in prison, because they're in prison in their mind, and they're bad people. So it was always meant for me to survive that situation and for my children to be safe and happy, so that spirit could let you know and give you that hope and let you know, hey, look, this happened to this person, but you can deal with it. You can make it through that. Okay. Because I done seen some people messed up off of some of these people's gang stalking. Gang stalking within itself. And see, this is another thing that the spirits don't like. They don't like cheaters. These people are trying to cheat witchcraft. Okay, do some real witchcraft and change yourself. Do some real witchcraft on yourself. That's why they can't really do work for other people. That's why they don't do work for other people. If you notice, they're not talking about their clients. They're not telling you anything about clients anymore. They just talking. That's it. There's no clients for them. And this has been going on for a while. Every now and then they may have somebody that might grace them with a little bit of money, but they're not getting it like that. They don't have a regular business. I earn a regular income. I earn money every day at my business, and that is because my business is tight. We got all of everything done. The spirits support my business. They don't support what they do. So if you see a witch gang stalking somebody, you be like, you are not a witch. You're a gang stalker. Yes, I am. See, I went to the Botanica and got a candle. Right, right, right. And did the person at the Botanica tell you how to use that candle? No. Wait, what you should have did was wrote your name on it and said, free my mind of this chaos and hell. Do some work on yourself. And literally, I'm their leader. Like, they act like I'm, oh God, the great one. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, look, I'm everybody's neighborhood friend and family member. Man, I ain't trying to be regarded in that sense. I ain't dead yet. When I die, I'll be a goddess that you should worship and fear. But until then, I'm your sister. I'm your auntie. I'm your mother. I can even be your brother. So, if they were able to come from that human place, then it would be okay. But they can't do that. Okay. And gang stalkers, to be honest with you, you don't want that. Okay. So there's one that's obsessed with narcissism and narcissists. That's because that person is running from themselves. They don't realize that they are the narcissist of the decade. Facts. So when you so blind, you can't even see yourself. So, and some of y'all might come up with that. So we're going to do some readings, y'all, because I want to get into y'all subconscious. Most people that do have these mental blocks, though, there is nothing that I can do for them until they can halfway, you know how they say that admitting to that you have a problem is halfway there. You're halfway there. The rest of it, you know what I'm saying? It can be pretty simple if you're working with somebody that knows what they're doing. So I've actually had people that came from the same place that they came from come to me and say, Jamila, I need help. I'm miserable. I'm unhappy. I'm doing bad things. I'm hanging around with bad crowds and I just want to get out of it. Because they'll try to convince you can't get out of it. But you can. And many of you will. Now, they want to make sure, because they'll tell you, well, you ain't going to get out of it except for in a casket. Well, we all got to die someday, don't we? In our physical form that we're in, that body is eventually going to die, right? So what they'll do is they'll try to take credit. You're 97 years old now, and I finally killed you. And you 90, and they 95, and you 99. It's ridiculous. And then a lot of people, I'm gonna tell y'all something. It was kind of messed up when people started coming out. That's why our witches have to warn people, look, do not try to do witchcraft or read cards unless you are experienced and trained. Do not attempt to try at home. That's what needs to be on every witch's video. Because some people, they'll pick up the after me and they'll be like, I'm gonna do this spell, bippity boop, and the next thing you know, they done drove themselves crazy. They feel stalked in the spirit. They constantly have inner turmoil about the situation. And then they come online and gang stalk other people, sounding broken. I couldn't even listen to it. Actually, my spirits do want to listen to it though. She stalked us. She sexually harassed us. We didn't do anything. We were It's like, do you not realize that people have been watching you? We can all see you. So now I'm going to tell you something. It's going to be an energy shift on October the 31st of this year. We're going to have to look at October the 31st. Because I think that, they're throwing temper tantrums because they want to know where I live. They come to my channel saying, you'll tell somebody where you live. That's for sure. We'll find out. It's so hilarious, y'all. Did y'all know that you can put your bills under an assumed name? Oh, it's a way to not be found by gang stalkers. What's the energy shift on October 31st? And we'll start the next reading. We're going to wrap this up, but we're going to throw the cards at the end of this one. We're going to put some intrigue on this one, y'all. What's going to happen? What's the energy shift on October 31st having to do with these fake gang stalkers that harass people with real spiritual gifts? What messages you got for them? Eight of Cups, King of Wands, Four of Wands, Three of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Five of Pentacles. So, I feel as though these people are going to lose their power, especially with the Four of Swords coming up. I've been seeing this coming for quite some time, that they're going to move on. Everybody under my spiritual family will be moving on. Because when I'm no longer in sight, it'll be out of sight, out of mind. So a lot of this spiritual warfare is going to go away. Some of you are going to grow. Some of you are going to be happy. Some of you are not going to be so happy. You see how the Five of Pentacles is underneath that Queen of Swords? A lot of people that don't see the error to their ways, they're really going to be in a tough way. That's bad. Some of y'all are going to do good, but some of y'all are going to be doing really, really bad. And they've been given plenty of warning. You can clear up your negative karma by giving back. Yeah. Many of them, especially guys, it's centered around me, especially with my situation. If you were somebody that's planning on moving, though, around that time, it's going to cause them a lot of stress that they don't know where you live. A lot of stress. Especially if you have a narcissistic mother or either toxic divine feminines. So you see, when you move on, it's going to be bad. So I feel like Spirit is saying is that if you effed up and you know you got that negative karma coming to you, the only way that you're going to clear up that karma is by giving back everything that you took. Community service. You're going to have to do some community service. See, even with me sharing in that negative karma with them, because I was arguing and going back and forth with them for a while, I had to come and do more for the community. And it's all for a higher purpose, okay? So at the end of the day, gang stalkers have it in their mind, I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to gut you like a fish. Ugh. It ain't meant to end up like that anyway. It ain't meant for you to be destroyed and your family to be destroyed and all kind of horrible stuff. It's going to end with something positive. And you can thank witches like me because we wanted to make sure that it ended positive. But many of them, especially this one person, is going to have a lot of financial issues. Because you were trying to wish certain things on innocent people. So sometimes even if you're not a witch, I'm saying, look, if you're going to try to be a manipulator, at least try to do it in a positive way. Like you were using witchcraft, but not really. So you felt like you were under the guise of protection, but you were still trying to manipulate the energies around. So your intent and your hope and your wish for other people was to try to destroy them. And that's why it's going to destroy you. Any of those people that are stalking anybody, all gang stalkers are going to get your karma. The people that you targeted, they're going to be just fine. I'm telling y'all what I know. So all of y'all that are being targeted, you're going to be okay. You are being protected by the angels and spirit guides that understand what you're going through. They don't agree with what has been happening to you. Okay, but it was a good time for you to tighten up on your craft because I had to learn certain things. So that's why my spirits let me go through it. Okay. And, there will be other people to come in the future, but the ones that have been here, they done. Many of them will go to jail too, like I told y'all. Gang stalking is a felony. That's a federal crime to gang stalk somebody. I keep telling these people, I'm like, do you realize that you're gang stalking me? And no, you're stalking us. No, you are all participating in gang stalking. Gang stalking is a federal crime. Do you realize that at any moment you can be contacted by the feds and go to federal prison? I'm spiritually protected by who? A demon? Who's spiritually protecting you? I don't believe that they're spiritually protecting you. Not really. Because if you truly had spiritual protection, you wouldn't be up to the no good that you up to. Don't you know no good? Have y'all ever seen that movie, The Stand? Shout me out. What's up, Mama Queen? What's up? Have y'all ever seen that movie, The Stand, by Stephen King? Y'all, it is, oh my God, I cannot wait until October. Oh my God. That's when all the scary movies start, and it's so much fun. It really is. And I've been having fun, y'all. I spooked the hell out of everybody over on my channel. Because a lot of them Christians, boy, they really believe that. And you know what? I will tell you that, yeah. In that video, I was under, I'll talk about that in another video. That's a separate video we're going to talk about. Because I want to talk about Anton LaVey as well. Wasn't that man sexy back in his day? Even when he got older, that man was sexy. So I can't wait to do that reading on Anton LaVey and see what's up with him. Okay. But, it is what it is. It's like, okay, You thought that you were going to get away with gang stalking somebody simply because you were a witch or because you were practicing fake witchcraft. Why would your path of spirituality lead you to commit a crime? You worship the Baphomet? I know that's right. Speak of Baphomet, I'm going to order a Baphomet candle. Oh, yes, I'm going to order one today, y'all. So, listen, when it boils down to it, if your spiritual path leads you to commit crimes against people, then that's not a very good spiritual path. So they'll say, we did it all because of the spirits. The spirit said that we had to do it. Yes. Well, congratulations. Now you've committed a crime. Because what they'll do is they'll come in and they'll check your computer. And even if you try to delete the computer or sell it or get rid of it or wipe it clean, you've left your legacy online. Like they've downloaded all of your videos that you've done to people. And they know you're all in cahoots with each other. I don't understand why they did it. And they know that jail is probably in their future. Then they'll be thinking white supremacy is horrible. No, that ain't white supremacy. That's justice. When them boys in blue come and take them to jail. I'm talking about 60 and 50-year-old women that were involved in gang stalking. Please believe that the justice will happen. Okay, and it has nothing to do with the fact that I was not hurt by it or harmed by it. It has everything to do with the fact that you committed a crime and you're going to be bamboozled. And then also they never purged themselves of their sins. The only person that did purge themselves of their sins that was involved with that is Mike Mills. He's the only one that did that. The only one. Well, yeah, you report all of their things to the IC3, but when when they investigate and it's like, okay, well, this person knows this person. This person knows this person. These people decided to go around and spread lies about innocent people and tried to ruin their life, and they did it together, and they called themselves a Colbin. Out in the open. See, covens usually move in silence. Y'all were not moving in silence. Y'all were showing to the whole world what you were doing to an innocent mother and her children. They don't get it. Their eyes is probably flopping around in their head right now. So at any moment, literally, not only do my spirits have the power to throw them in jail in federal prison, but they also have the power to let them go. Because I don't work with weak spirits, Eddie. And it was obvious from the beginning. A little 5'4" woman, has been raising her children by herself for years. Obviously is a strong person. Comes across a bunch of jerk-offs online. So I do predict, let's see when this is going to happen. When are the gang stalkers going to go to jail? When are they going to start prosecuting gang stalkers? Because they said it was a government program, but the government will do that to you and then put you in jail for it. That's why I like the government, because they so cold. They so cold about it. I hate to tell you, but if you was dumb enough to go along with it, why would you do that? Even if somebody presented you with a master plan of destruction for somebody else to do it, why would you do it? Whether or not the government told you to do it or not. So this government that gave you that, which, I believe they'll tell you to do it and then throw you in prison for it. Spirits, when are they going to start arresting gang stalkers? It's going to be a big thing in the news, too. Up, Seven of Swords, Five of Wands, King of Pentacles, Five of Swords, Page of Swords. So it's going to be when crime is going to kind of slow down and they're going to want to make money. It's going to be about money when they do it. Seven of Wands, King of Cups, the Empress, the Six of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. So it's going to actually start Ooh. They're going to be getting people around Christmas time. Goodness gracious. Wow. Are they Nama Queen? Yeah, man, ranting and raving and going crazy. Yeah, the only one that really did have himself, so he's not going to have anything really negative happen to him because he's also willing to testify against these people, and he will. He's not going to collaborate their story with them. He's going to tell them straight up what happened. And the fact that you committed the actual act of gang stalking for a prolonged period of time, actually it'll be heavily in the 5th year, but it's going to start in December of this year. And it's nothing that they can do about it. They're going to start investigating. They're going to start the initial investigations, but it's definitely going to be in the 5th year. So if you began to get gang stalked 3 years ago, it may be in a couple of years. So you got to do some work until then. I love you too. I love you too, hon. Thank you. Somebody's it'll be in the 5th year. So in 2020 will be my 5th year. You guys are going to hear about this in the news. Everybody's going to be talking about it in social media. Oh, Lord. It's going to be a different feeling seeing these people go to jail. And I think it's going to have something to do with the Divine Mother because the Empress came up. Yes, she did. She gonna say enough is enough. So in the 5th year, so a lot, so you want to know when, because, when they're doing it out in the open, you filed IC3 reports. I know I filed about 60 police reports. Did y'all know that? You know why I filed 60 police reports against these people? So that when the feds began doing their investigation, I would have solid proof of the gang stalking. Do y'all understand me? So you do need to file the police reports against them. And you need to make sure that you do that. Because eventually, even though we know the criminal justice system does have its flaws, eventually it's going to work for us. Eventually. And I know a lot of y'all are thinking, well, the police didn't believe me because of a group of men. And you can see men, it's going to be a lot of men. A lot of men and a couple of females. Quite a few females. But this was initiated by men. So a lot of y'all men that have been gang stalking people, y'all going to go to jail. And y'all don't want to go to jail. Because if you go in there and say that you in gang stalking innocent children and women, they going to start beating you up in there. They going to go to prison. Yeah, prison, not jail, because jail is where they hold you for a couple of days. Prison is where you go for quite some time. Because Spirit told me that they wanted to call the popo on me when I put up that video when I was, y'all, it was just some Halloween fun. It spooked them though. It did because, they're afraid and they should be afraid. Judgment is upon you. You can see the energies and entities that are going to do it. Archangel Michael is going to be the initiator of this. And then so is the Great Mother. They don't like it. So, and then this King of Pentacles, he'll look at them like money to spend. And then also it may have something to do with, could have something to do with Donald Trump. But I feel like it's going to be more so, this person right here is a federal judge. This is a federal judge or somebody high ranking federal agent is this King of Pentacles. And you can tell that he's been sort of blocked from doing anything, but then that gateway is going to open to where he'll be able to, because then it'll be time. So when your time is up, your time is up. And then we don't ever have to see these people again. Good Lord. Just hearing one of them's voice, I'm gonna put curses on you. I can't wait. I can't wait until they don't have any internet access, that of which they don't need. They probably might end up getting banned from the internet. And a lot of the so-called victims of this online terrorism needs to go to that courtroom. You need to travel to wherever it's at. Go to the courtroom and say, hey, they'll probably end up getting their internet privileges taken from them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do practice witchcraft, Karen. And if you're subconsciously blocked, I can definitely remove that for you. You just have to do the instructions that I give to you. So if somebody puts something on your third eye, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about in the reading that I'm about to do. So I'm going to wrap this up. But that's where it ends, is you in prison. And these people getting their lives back that you tried to steal from them. And I'm glad to be a part of that. And you know that I'm the person that was meant to bring you down. Cora, they're constantly calling my business phone. Constantly. Private. They call from unknown numbers. They have other numbers call. Yeah, they're constantly calling my phone. Because they're scared of justice. And so I haven't been a bad person this whole time. I've actually been the good person. You know what I'm saying? I am a very good person. But to them, I'm the bad guy because I bring justice to them. So perception is everything. What I tell y'all about perception. In their perception, I'm a bad guy because I'm the one that's going to bring them down. Okay. And it's just the reality of it. So I'll be back, guys. We're going to do psychic readings. I love you guys. Love and light. May the Mother Goddess be with you. May the, pan be with you to keep you grounded, keep you blessed. We do have the Smash and Patriarchy ritual coming up, the Banishing Patriarchy, because this does have something to do with patriarchy, and then also religion and Christianity. These people are creating hell on earth, and they will be stopped. And I promise you, I'll bring you down. Now, this ain't even no joke or no threat. You going down anyway. It don't matter what you say at this point. Maybe after you go to prison for about 5 or 7 years or 10 years, then maybe you'll get out a better person. I'll see y'all later. Love and light.